The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Welcome, everyone, to episode 76 of the Daily Mother Swole. Today, discussing the booty, the ass. Don't skip ass day. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Just stopping in to say the title rocks. Don't skip ass day. Friends don't let friends skip ass day. Boyfriends shouldn't let girlfriends skip ass day. Girlfriends shouldn't let boyfriends skip ass day. And husbands and wives should not let each other skip ass day. Grandparents should not let each other skip ass day. And children should not skip ass day. No one should skip ass day. I'm not sure what I just said. I'm sure something in the last 10 to 15 seconds was inappropriate. I'm not sure. It's possible. I will listen to the replay and make annotations if necessary, if something is borderline illegal, what I said. Anyhow, let's get into it. Why don't you skip butt day? Well, let's talk about why the glutes are important. I've said this recurring theme throughout my shows, but the glutes are important. Again, because they're the base of your core. The core is from the hips all the way up to the cervical spine. So glutes create that base of the pyramid. They create locomotion. They create thrust capacity, power for stride. So stability for the upper body, stability for the lower body. If you have knee problems, if you have lower back problems, a lot of times that can stem from hip misplacement or hip compensations or imbalances of the hip, weakness in the posterior chain, tightness in the front from sitting down too much. So the glutes are super important. Now, in terms of the glutes, I'm going to go over a couple different exercises, a couple different ways to train the glutes, what the differences are, because there are some exercises that people do for glutes when they're trying to isolate the glutes, and they're great, but they don't necessarily isolate. It's good to do both. So, for example, for bench press, you could do dumbbell flies, which is more of an isolation movement, or a pec deck machine, whereas a bench press will be multiple joints. So, in terms of glutes, let's talk about the compound movements first. Compound movements meaning multiple joints, such as the Romanian deadlift or the stiff leg deadlift, same thing. Deadlifts from the ground up. Also, we're talking about squats and lunges. Those work multiple joints, and those are great exercises that will hit the glutes. Now, the problem, not that they don't work, the problem with those exercises for someone that has problems with the hips already is that one, you can cause injury, and also you might hit muscles that aren't the glutes. If you have hip compensations, if you have tightness in the front of the hips, if your glutes are weak, if your hip flexors are overactive, when you do lunges, a lot of times you might feel it underneath the butt. You might feel it in the hamstrings more than the glutes. That's no good. That means you are using synergist muscles. You're getting dominant with secondary musculature rather than the primary, rather than the glutes. You're not getting all the primary hip extensors involved, namely the gluteus medius and the maximus. And that's going to be really, really important for you because you want the butt. You better not be working the hamstring. It's nice to have that little lift. It's nice to have that underside, that butt shelf. But at the same time, you need to develop the booty and then carve out the hamstrings to get that shelf, to get that lift. So you could also do isolation. Yeah, everyone wants a big booty, Lauren. Hell yeah. That's why you're here, because you saw... I was going to title it Dat Ass Dough. I want a butt shelf. Viking Monkey wants a butt shelf. And I'm getting lovey faces from Lauren for the booty. Everyone loves the booty. Everyone loves the booty. Natural is the best. Well, what do you mean by natural? I mean, booty is natural. Having a strong butt is natural. So let's talk about how to isolate. Those are compound movements. Those are great. Squats, lunges, those things are great. But isolation can also help deliver more booty gains. Let's talk about those. You can do hip bridges. I showed hip bridges yesterday. Did you guys see the Periscope video I did for exercise? I know the lighting wasn't great for the first part, but there will be more videos like that. I love the live. Something about live I enjoy. So there will be more of those videos, those Periscope live broadcasts for my workouts, and I'll be talking between sets, but then I'll also upload it to YouTube. I know the sound isn't perfect, but I don't have a dedicated camera person that's going to be running around with me to the gym, and it's a pain in the butt setting up the video and then coming up and editing it. And when I do things like that, it takes longer because I upload so many videos all the time and I create so many different types of content, which you know, and that's why you all follow me and support me, because there's a lot of things I like to cover rather than just I think exercise videos are beaten to the ground. I like the personal effect of live, plus that intimacy with holding the camera. I like that. I think that's more effective, and it's easier for me to record and get to you. So there'll be more of that. So I appreciate feedback. So any feedback from that, I appreciate. If you want to send me a message on Snapchat, that'd be cool. Let me know what you think about that. I follow you for the beard. Everyone does. Everyone does. I mean, come on. It's like if my beer was a cup, it'd be the Holy Grail. Jesus is jelly on my barba. So let's talk more about those isolation exercises. Okay, hip bridges, I did those yesterday, and the frog bridges, those are great. They do work multiple muscles, but generally they're in isolation. You're isolating just the hip extension. So that's great. You could also do hip abductions with a machine. You could also do it with a band, do like lateral tube walking, and you could also do something like single leg bridges. You can also do kickbacks on a machine, kickbacks with ankle weights, kickbacks with a dumbbell or with a cable. So you have those exercises that really isolate just the hip extension and limit other muscles' involvement. And that makes them more of an isolation exercise. The reason why isolation is good is because they target neurally more, just focus on that one muscle. And then the integrated exercises are great because you generally can lift more weight. You can squat a lot, you can deadlift a lot, and they tie in neurally all the other muscles moving synergistically. And once the glutes are activated, so if you have problems, you have compensations, if you have an imbalance with the hips, it's great to isolate the glutes a lot first and then do exercises like the squats and deadlift, which will then make sure that the glutes are firing when you do those integrated movements. A lot of times if you have a problem, if you're sitting down a lot and you have neural compensations where muscles aren't firing, you go to those integrated movements and they're using all the muscles, but the main muscle, the glutes, aren't firing because they're not used to working. So the integration isn't really effective because they're not really working during the integration. You want the glutes to be the primary. So isolating them will get the brain to fire the glutes more frequently and get used to communicating with the glutes. And then when you do an integrated global movement like a squat or a deadlift, the glutes will fire more and you'll get more effectiveness and safety out of it. Because remember, if the glutes aren't firing, the lower back and the knees are at risk. So you want to make sure the glutes are always working. You can also look on the YouTube channel, not just what I did yesterday, but the hip bridge. That's also like just the body weight hip bridge and the position and the single leg squat. Those are great isolation and slight integration movements, but great stabilization and great firing techniques to get the glutes working. Okay. There will be more exercise videos. There will be some probably that are going to be, regular shot, HD, classic like that. But I really do feel that if I do workout videos where I go live, I can answer a lot of people's questions on the spot, and then I'll just screenshot that, forward or screencast that up onto YouTube, and then you can watch it. And I know you're all watching for the content, you're not watching, and I have to remember, this is one of my techniques, and this is going to get a little bit off topic, but this is a technique that I want you to focus on. The glutes are important. You should be doing glute training, right? Also, with any kind of work, don't wait for perfection. Okay, don't wait for the perfect time to start doing compensation balancing. Don't wait for the perfect time to do glute work. Don't wait for the perfect time to start X, Y, and Z. Just get started. I noticed that I wasn't posting as many exercise videos because I'm doing Raw, I'm doing Daily Swole, I'm doing all my podcasts, I'm doing Swole Motion, I'm doing Driving While Gaining. I do a lot of stuff. I do my Snapchat, my Instagram, Facebook. I don't know if all of you realize how many different platforms, how many different things I do. I do Anchor, I do Musical.ly, I do Busker. I do a lot of different things. It makes my head spin sometimes. So don't wait for the perfect time to do it. Adjust and make it so you can get it done. If I do something like a live Periscope workout, it's easier for me mentally and to get it done and get it to you, then I will. And that's what I'm going to do. And that's why I realize what I'm going to do. And I'm going to give a mix. And you're going to see form. You're going to see exercise. You'll be able to ask me questions live. You'll be able to see the questions that people ask live. I think it'll be a great format. So that's getting a little bit off topic. But bottom line, don't wait for perfection. Start training your glutes. Separate a day. Do legs twice a week. Do a leg day and then do a glute day. Or do another glute day. I'm going to do probably 2 or 3 glute days a week like I used to. So I crushed them yesterday. I did like 405, heavy hip bridges, and go to failure. High, low reps, do it. Do high reps. Do heavyweight and low reps. Mix it up, but always try to push your limit and do better than last time. If you went heavy and you did 5 reps, and try to go heavier and do 5 reps. Or do the same weight for 6 reps, 7 reps. Grab the frog bridges. Instead of doing 50 reps, do 60 reps, do 75, do 100. Do more volume. Push yourself. And I'm going to do a lot more repetition. I got really recently more motivated. Yeah, the hip bridges, the video yesterday, the one about glutes where it was a live periscope. And you'll know that it's a periscope, obviously, when you open it, but I'll also put that in the thumbnail, the little icon that says periscope, and you'll notice that it's a live workout. But I like live because it's real and you're not watching an edited video. And I think there's something to be said for live. I think there's something to be said for live, and especially if I put it on there live. You know, if I edit it, it's going to be like there's a long pause between changing camera angles, and I'm not going to let you guys sit there for a minute while like I struggle to try to get it aligned properly. I might edit that part out. But in terms of like the actual exercise, I'm not editing out bad reps. I will do it. If I fail a rep, you'll see it. And I'll talk about it, you know, while I'm resting between sets or something like that. So I like live. I think that's really an effective tool. I think that's where the future is going to be with virtual reality. And I think it's more real. I think everyone, and the way I like to do my stuff, I like to be real with you. And I think that aspect is what you should want to see, and I think that's what you like to see. And so that's going to be, and I don't know if a lot of people are doing live workouts on Periscope and putting them on YouTube anyway. I know a lot of like HD, edited, blah, blah, but I think, you know, Snapchat's not HD. Think about that. Snapchat's not HD. You know, and people love Snapchat. Snapchat's not Instagram where you can edit and do all this crazy stuff. You know, Snapchat's raw. People like raw stuff. People want personal connection again. So I think that live aspect, or that this is unedited, this was live, this happened in the moment, I think that's really cool. And I just love Periscope. I love the live broadcasting. I think that's, you know, things go around, things come around. TV used to be that way, and things used to happen. And people watched it because you never knew it was going to happen. So thank you. I appreciate that, Caramel. Yeah, I love Snapchat. I think it's fun. So I think it's also a matter of like what the person does. Like I enjoy training glutes. I enjoy live broadcasting. So I mean, it'll come out. If I'm bored by it, it's going to come out that I'm bored, but I enjoy it. I really enjoy the Snapchat format. I enjoy Periscope. I enjoy the live. So I think that also makes a big difference, is my energy and how I feel about it. So anyway, keep an eye on that, because I will post more glute workouts. Even if it's more of the same, I will post more workouts. I will try to do more and more and more than, for example, of those Periscope workouts, and post more of those exercise videos on the YouTube. So if you haven't checked out my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Swolenormous, please, if you haven't gone on my YouTube channel yet, youtube.com/Swolenormous, click subscribe to my videos. I'd really appreciate that. It gives me more support and more mental, just more makes me more amped up to post more stuff. But I have a lot of videos on there, so you can watch a lot of them. Feel free to comment. Also, if you have a question on a video, let's say you have a question now that I don't get to on this Daily Swole, remember, this is going to be uploaded. So go on the Daily Swole and comment on YouTube. I answer all the comments on YouTube as soon as I can. So let's keep the conversation going. Make sure that you ask questions. Keep a dialogue going on YouTube. You can answer. You can make comments, and I'll discuss and we'll answer back and forth. It could be a rolling discussion. So you can actually use YouTube as an extension of this Periscope and of this broadcast and Busker, and even for example, the podcast. If you listen to the podcast on SoundCloud and iTunes, if you didn't know, it's also a podcast, and you have a question, post it under the YouTube video. Okay, or send me a message on Snap. But public comments are great because other people probably have the same questions, or they might not know or have thought of that question. Be like, oh, that's a great thing. And you can also help other people learn. That's why I like that community. Okay, so thank you so much for joining me for episode 76 of The Daily Mother Swole. Hey, oh, Flaxosaurus. Yeah. That was good. No cracks this time. So I'm about to go pound some more food, and I'm starting to track my food for my premium crew. I'm going to be posting up some stuff about diet up in my premium so people can follow me detailed step by step, give those guys some a little more insight into what I do. So if you don't know about my premium, you could message me, check out my website. It's my premium service on Facebook for accountability and for motivation and for exercise videos and all that stuff for people that are really trying to make a difference in their lives and get freaking ripped, yoked, and also lose some serious weight. So it's a great little brain trust in there if you want to check it out. I will be talking more about that soon in the future. Thank you for joining again. Peace out. I will see you tomorrow, Friday, for episode 77 of The Daily Swole. See you later.
Another.